Thrift Fights, where the champions rise. We have a special interview for our podcast/TV show. Please tell everybody your name.
My name is Christian Ynastrilla.
Ynastrilla. I always have a challenge with the last name. Your fight name is the Kraken.
Yes, sir.
Is that new or?
No, that's been my fight name probably since like before I started.
Yeah.
It's probably been like.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming to our podcast/show. I really wanted to be interviewing you. We've been, seeing each other a lot and have shared a lot together. And you're a great example of martial arts and mixed martial arts. He's a professional fighter. He's been doing very successful right now. In the last events you've been participating is the Titan FC, correct?
Yeah.
And the UFC pass, promoting and putting a really positive image for 305 Fights and 305 and the 305 in general, in Dade County in general. Tell everybody a little bit about your background in the martial arts.
I started off with Taekwondo when I was like, I think 13 or 14. That was like how I first got just into martial arts in general. And I think when I was around 16 or 17, I saw the UFC 100, I believe it was, when George St. Pierre fought like Thiago Alves, and that's really when I got like hooked on it. And then shortly when I was around like 18 or 19, I believe it was, I joined the American Top Team Miramar, and ever since then it's just been dedicating my life to this and just trying to make my way to be one of the best flyweights in the world one day. So.
Excellent, and you're on a great path. You want to shout out any team members, teachers, or schools? Any shout outs to anybody?
I want to give a shout out to my teammate Justin Corret, that he's fighting for your show on September 26th. He's one of my main training partners. He helps me all the time when I have weigh-ins. He always drives me there. He's just a great friend to have in my life. Also, I want to shout out my striking coach, Carl Darbuz, my grappling coach, Chris Navarro, and also, most importantly, one of my main coaches as well, Roger Kral, that he handles everything in my career, and I wouldn't be where I am right now without him.
Excellent. Much respect and honor to Roger Kral over there at Sunrise. We've been to a school, great locations. You mentioned some great teachers. We want to show respect and honor to all the schools, all the teachers, regardless of styles. We're going to come together, and 305 is where the next champion is going to rise in everything, in life and in fighting. What motivates, let me say it better. Who inspired you to get into martial arts? Because martial arts and combat sports is tough. You got to grind, you got to train, you got to diet. So you got to have some inspiration. Who or what's been your inspiration?
I would say my uncle. That he's the only other person in my family that ever did martial arts. He competed like back in the 80s and stuff. He did kickboxing around the same time that Chuck Norris competed and stuff like that. And that was something that really inspired me. Like, cause no one else in my family really has like a martial arts background. So he was the guy that I would watch like train and things like that. That's something that inspires me a lot.
Awesome. I'm pretty familiar with martial arts in the 80s. Not that I'm dating myself. That's really, really great. And also, I've had the privilege and honor to see you instruct and teach, because you instruct and teach also.
Yeah.
And that's great. Let me ask a question. As an instructor, as a trainer, what does a person need to be a champion?
I would say discipline and be consistent. I think that's the number one thing, just being consistent. I think a lot of guys, they'll train like only when they have a fight coming up and things like that. I think the thing that'll get you ahead of everybody is just being consistent, like 365 days a year, putting the time in, doing more than one class, doing like 2 trainings a day, 3 trainings a day, and that way, that's how you get ahead of everybody, Like, there could be people that are really talented and stuff like that, but I think when you put the work in, that's what surpasses everything.
Yes, they say hard work beats talent.
Yeah.
That's 2 elements that we use when I get to teach in natural motion systems. I use principles of nature, like the wave. Wave has frequency and consistency. So you have to be in the gym frequently and consistently. And I agree with you. Some people like only prepare for the fight week or the fight training camp.
Yeah.
But if you see the elites like George St. Pierre, he's always training. He's always in the gym. And I mean, it's part of it. Martial arts is a lifestyle, correct?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you also, as a fighter yourself and as a professional fighter, and by the way, what's your record?
My professional record is 6-1.
6-1, awesome. And what was your amateur record?
5-2.
5-2, awesome record. So to have that record, professional and amateur, yourself, what do you think it took technically, meaning conditioning, techniques, tactics? What do you think it takes?
I mean, as speaking for myself, I think whenever I have a fight, not just when I have a fight coming up, but like I treat like my whole life like I have fights coming up, because I treated my amateur fights like I was fighting for like a UFC title. Like I take every fight very serious. So I think it's just how hard I work. I think I outwork everybody. I think that's something I pride myself on, and I think my attention to detail and trying to do things correctly, surrounding myself with the best coaches that I know are going to get me to like be at that level that I want to be at.
Yes, you said 2 very important points, and We have in the house Maximo Piret from Reach Combat. He just started Reach Combat Management. He just announced it this week, and we've been talking to him about it. He's doing something really interesting. You said it. I'm glad you said it as a professional. You have to start treating it from an amateur as a professional.
Yeah.
So he's going to be taking people like that, and as an amateur, creating the proper methodology and formula to be victorious as a professional. Because you have to have the same mindset as an amateur professional, because it's the same thing. You only get paid.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you said is about being detail oriented. You know, the details. Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, says the subtle governs the obvious. The details is what later on makes the accomplishments. So it's very good in South Florida. We have a lot of good people helping us. I want to give shout outs to Dodge Sports, Reach Combat, two of the sports agents we're working with, National Health Port, International Ballers, Miami Media, all the families and friends that help 305 Fights grow. Yourself, that we've worked together. I've seen you training, you've seen me training, I've seen your fights. You know, coming together and helping each other, I think promotes martial arts in general and helps the martial arts overall. Don't you think so?
Yeah, of course. Especially, you know, like I think the whole community in South Florida is growing a lot. Especially like on the global level, like talking UFC, talking Bellator. Like there's a lot of more people coming out from here, so it's a great time for mixed martial arts.
You said something important, and a good question is the state of martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, I see it's growing, and I see exciting things happening, like the Fight Island, the UFC Fight Island.
Abu Dhabi,
yeah. The fights that are coming up. What do you think of any particular fight that's coming up that you want to see, that you're interested in?
Well, I know they got some fights tomorrow. I'm definitely interested in the main event with Edmund Shabazian. I think that's how you say his last name. Yeah, he's a phenom. I think he's like 22 or 23. The kid's looking really good. I'm excited to see him like take that step up in competition and fight Brunson. I look forward to watching that.
Yes, I that's what I see also. I see a lot of young guys. I mean, bringing martial arts technology-wise, entertainment-wise, business-wise to the next level. In between those two, who do you think is going to win?
I probably have to lean to Shabazian. I think he has like a lot of the momentum going. I think Brunson, he hasn't really changed his game too much, and I think Shabazian's young and he's constantly evolving. And I think he's probably the more superior striker, and I think Brunson's gonna struggle with that a little bit.
You know, you said 2 points again that I was talking to different people in the industry, like Reach Combat, that you always have to be evolving.
Yeah.
And changing your game. You know, we were seeing a clip of Dominic Cruz, and he says, you know, fighters will read your game. You know, so that's what I like, the part of the fights is the strategy and the tactics. Let me ask you, if you practice the striking, the grappling, is there any other particular art that you prefer?
No, not really. I think that's why I got into mixed martial arts. I think I really like everything. Well, when I first thought like in the future I wanted to do like kickboxing, kind of like what my uncle did, but then I started learning about jiu-jitsu and wrestling and stuff like that. So I think especially in this sport, like the days of being like a one-trick pony, of just being good at one thing and not being good at everything else, it's pretty much over. I think especially in the lighter weight classes, you have to be good everywhere, and that's something I like. I enjoy wrestling, I enjoy jiu-jitsu, I enjoy boxing, kickboxing, being in the clinch, everything, Muay Thai, just everything in general.
Yes, you have to be multi-dimensional.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your social media information?
My Instagram is Christian_Y28, and then Christian's with a CH, and then on Facebook, Christian Ynastrilla.
Excellent. And we want to promote all these young professional fighters that are coming out there and representing the 305 with respect and honor, with good techniques. This is how we're going to look good. This is how we're going to shine. Let me ask you a question. Where are you from?
I was born and raised in Hialeah, Florida.
And your family?
My whole family's from Cuba.
Oh, awesome. And how's your family and everything about you fighting at one night?
My mom's probably not too happy about it or supportive about it, but I think you know, she's just worried and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, everybody else in my family supports me a lot, you know, and it means a lot to me. You know, a lot of them always asking me like when I have a fight coming up and things like that. So it always means a lot.
By the way, what do you have going? What's coming up next?
Right now it's looking like probably another fight with Titan, probably at the end of August. So that's probably what I'm just trying to stay active with Titan and keep building up my resume.
Yeah, that's actually, you've been really successful in Titan, which is good because it's on the UFC pass, and you're getting the attention you deserve. Young man, I always wish you the best. I wish everybody the best.
Thank you.
You know, I believe success is an energy, and I'm with the energy of success.
Yeah, let's do it.
305 Fights, where the champions rise. 305, donde surgen los campeones.